Hey, it's Mike here, and today I'm finally showing you guys the kitchen renovation, which is pretty awesome in a couple ways. One, because mid-renovation, when I was tearing the plaster off the chimney, because we wanted exposed chimney, in the base trim, I found an ancient note, and this is that ancient note, and we're gonna, have some fun. Maybe you guys can try to translate it, but look at it, it's like barely being held together. I had to tape it, but it was a cool find, and also just the fact that this is a very DIY kitchen, and we did it for like probably around $2,500, including like a brand new stove and on and on. So we're just gonna show you some cool little design ideas we had and little gidgy gadgets that we put, that's not a real word. Well, I'm just gonna show you the kitchen, let's go. Here is the before, when I had already even removed the drop ceiling and the dining room carpet. And here is the after. Boom, opened it up, and I'll just let you vibe. Here it is. Here's the kitchen. So here is that letter. It is absolutely going to be sealed, laminated, framed, or something so it doesn't get worse than it already is. I will just post an HD picture of it right now, and you can try and have fun translating it if you want, and then I'm gonna read it at the end of the video. One thing about this house before we bought it, I knew that the kitchen was just gonna seem way too closed off and small. So we did the thing that so many people are doing nowadays and just tore down a non-load bearing wall. Of course, you have to make sure that it is not structural, and thankfully it was not. So me and my brother, as you can see in this clip here, knocked it down, which was a very dusty process. And then we got this nice open kitchen concept, which just immediately made the house feel a million times better. And then we made everything lighter. I mean, the original house had drop ceiling and some carpet, and they had some sort of faux brick in the kitchen, little panels and things like that that we just needed to take out, and I think it looks a little better now. All right, I wanted to talk a little bit about the countertops because that was a huge experiment and it could have gone wrong. Some things went a little bit wrong, but I think it turned out really well. I just got a white concrete mix from Z Countertops or Counterforms. I don't even know what the name of the company really is, but I essentially tried to do things DIY instead of paying the full amount for all of their really good products. Like they have an edging thing. Instead I was like, no, I'll make it out of like scrap materials, which turned out all right. And then I also thought it would be cool to just do some fiberglass reinforced concrete. So I threw in some little like 1/2-inch fiberglass chunks in here, which makes it really strong, but it also gives it this sort of inconsistent texture, which sort of looks fossil-y if you like that. But if you want the perfect one, you definitely don't want to do that. I also was lazy and didn't want to buy like the full $400 worth of the actual mix. So we did cheap, just gray concrete in the core of this. And then I put some little like metal paneling in. So it's probably way stronger than it needs to be. All right, so here's this Samsung stove that we got. And propane's awesome for cooking and it looks great on camera and stuff. But we didn't know if we were ever gonna move. We wanted to rent this out. We wanted to keep it safe. And also, I didn't want to bother doing any type of sort of exhaust vent out the side, which you definitely want with propane. So instead, I did just a filtered downdraft vent. Normally, they're super expensive, but I also just built this out of concrete, and then behind there, it's really hard. You're probably not gonna be able to see. But essentially, there's some slotted holes in the countertop, and there's just a piece of carbon sort of filter that is blocking it, so it's going to be constantly going through a carbon filter. And then the fan itself is controlled by this switch that I built into the side. Oh yeah, so satisfying. And here we have this little bamboo Panda thing, which is really just kept, probably temporarily as a nod to the original kitchen. This is the only thing that still exists. It was hanging up over on the wall. And in case you're wondering why we went with a farm sink, it was A, because we really like the way they look, and B, because it's obviously just way easier to clean a bunch of pots and stuff in there at once. And it can be a little annoying to clean the grate out, but once you have a system down, that's good. And in case you're wondering about this is sort of, we didn't like a drying rack, so this is sort of our drying rack situation here. We had a miscommunication about the color that we wanted a faucet to be. Lindy said she liked this one, so I thought she wanted this, but she really wanted all gold. But I will say, incredible little jet setting on this. That setting takes off like everything, instantly cleans the oatmeal out of the Instant Pot. Another awesome feature that I accidentally got the wrong color of, the garbage disposal button, the best thing ever. I think you have to have water on first. Oh yeah, lifesaver. And when we designed this section, I really wanted to have some counter space on both sides of the farm sink. And with that, we ended up with this awkward sort of section here, which turned out to be super convenient cleaning supply little drawer, which I love. And over here you can see we have the hidden outlets, which I think is great. It makes it so much smoother looking. Gonna maybe add some under cabinet lighting eventually, but that's good enough right now. And then now to one of my favorite things. It just keeps going, and it's still going. Oh yeah, full length sliders I put in right there, which makes so much depth. Love it. Another thing we did, which I believe is key, is we put just a nice little kind of liner there so that if anything is still wet, it doesn't damage the cabinets and will last way longer. Another fun little thing, see that? Oh yeah, so satisfying. Except that everybody always thinks it's a drop of water and they want to wipe it off. Here is our dishwasher, which was $10. I was pulling up to the dumping a bunch of, random stuff. And it was just, someone had just dropped it off right there and it looked super shiny. So I was like, oh my gosh, how much for this? And they're like $10. And with about $20 in parts, we got it all running back up again and have been using it. And it's been great. And it's like a $1,000 Kenmore Elite dishwasher. So win there. And in case you're wondering about our actual cabinet paint and stuff and how these are made, yes, these are something that I did. I had to drill those holes and make these panels and drill these holes and all this stuff. And we painted it with Eco Lac. We used a color that we like, this light green. And, I had to prime it and just used a cheap Wagner thing to spray it. And this is a good solution for people who are trying to see everything. We just have this little tiered thing that has our almond butter and some beans and peanut butter and stuff. Okay, one thing which you have probably also noticed is that we did cabinets all the way to the ceiling. It was a little bit of extra carpentry, but now it means no dust on top ever. So that's cool. The only problem is now we have to get like a library ladder to read stuff. I mean, I can read stuff, 8-foot ceiling, but Lindy needs to get a little ladder because she's really short. Do you have an old fridge but don't want to get a new fridge? Just put new handles on it. No, but seriously, this fridge was new enough that on the inside it was like nice enough. We didn't really care. And we could have spent $1,000 on a new refrigerator, but we didn't want to get a stainless steel one. We ended up getting more stainless steel than we wanted to, but we wanted to keep it white so that it would match sort of the countertops and stuff. So we thought, let's just experiment because we don't have much to lose with an older refrigerator. So we just drilled and put these on. There was like a YouTube video that we saw. I'll try and credit that person. And it worked out really well. Like, these are super solid. I thought that they weren't gonna be as solid because they're kind of screwed into like sheet metal. And it worked out really well. Ah, gosh. Never filming a kitchen video again. There's too many little dirty things. Here we are at the chimney, which was completely plastered over. You can still see little remnants of like the edge piece of metal there. And it's a good amount of work to just chisel that away. I have a friend who had a similar one. He started chiseling a hole and he just was like, no way am I gonna do this because it's so on there. But it's always worth it because you get this beautiful result. And this is where we found the note. It was at the base of this where there was just some base trim over the plaster, and I was just, and I just was prying that base shoe off, and then I see this little kind of note in there, and I think what happened is there was probably a table up against that, and the note, probably just a casual note, just slid behind the table, fell perfectly into the base molding, trim, whatever, and then just sat there for like 70 years, 80 years, I don't know. All right, back to this note, which I think is really interesting. I've shown it to a lot of people. They think it's from probably like the 1940s or so because they had phones, but just the way everything is written and how it looks, they just think it's probably that old. Dear Fanny, Daddy was awfully glad to get your letter and hear your tum was getting well. We thought it was originally tummy, but you'll see why it's not. Jean called just now, and Daddy had to go and see Cordy. She had mashed her tum, and I dressed it for her. Claude is there too, and they send their love to you. Auntie Brooks and Auntie Benedict both ask about you and send their love. How are Maryland and Sissy getting along? I hope things are well. You must be a good girl and kiss Mother every day for Daddy. Love and something something, probably kisses, Daddy. So because you don't smash your tummy and dress it, that's only something you do with your thumb, it appears to be a letter about somebody crunching their thumb in something. All right, this is the built-in that is behind me when I'm filming, and a couple things about this, just for people that are interested. This used to be significantly darker, and we lightened it with denatured alcohol and wearing a mask and stuff. It is not a nice process to do, but here is our nice little but here is our, it's really old. Here is our nice little mug drawer. Look at this, so cool. Got all these mugs made by various pottery people. And here is Diego making his appearance once again. And he is also very interested in the 3D printed advent calendar house, which made an appearance in my last video, which still doesn't have anything in it this late. But I think just as it gets closer to Christmas, we're gonna do a bunch of little blank drawings and candy in there. I'm gonna draw them, Lindy's gonna color them in. It's gonna be cool. Yeah, I know the note wasn't like a treasure map, or maybe there's a riddle in there showing that there's buried treasure. Let me know what the riddle is, because why not dig up some treasure? That'd be another cool video. Anyway, I'm really excited to do some cooking videos in this kitchen now that it's done. So let me know if there's anything that you want to see me cook or try to cook more realistically. And beyond that, you can let me know what you liked or what you didn't like or what I did wrong in the construction process, which people love to point out. Anyway, feel free to like and subscribe, and see you in the Thanks for watching.